Hi everyone, my name is Dan from Saxon 4x4 and you join me with my good friend and colleague Chris
on another freezing cold January morning, and you join us doing another head-to-head, and this time on what the best 7-seaters have to offer on the market today. We have Dan in the Discovery 5 and we have me in the Audi Q7.
So let's kick this off with a Discovery 5. This one is a HSE dynamic which offers big wheels, black pack, keyless entry, keyless exit, 3-litre V6 with what I think is one of the biggest boots and 7 seats on the market. But Chris, what have you got?
I raise you. I have an Audi Q7, 3-litre TDI, heads-up display, virtual cockpit, Audi's Quattro system, one of the best things that the German brand is known for, and also a massive boot.
Before we hit the road test, we're just going to do a few of the practical points. Now the first thing I want to touch on is boot space. Now I have 228 litres with the seats up, 698 with everything folded down, huge opening and super practical, but I've got a sneaking suspicion Chris has got a bit more space than me.
As a matter of fact, I do. I have 330 litres with the seats up. When they're down, 775. No, the opening may not be as big, but it's size that counts.
So the Q7 does have a few more litres up its sleeve, but I think the Discovery uses its space a little more effectively. For example, I can actually sit back, I've got headroom, whereas I can't in the Q7. Now, unless you're 5'8" like Chris.
10.
Unless you're a little bit shorter, the Discovery is always going to give you the more room. The Q7 is always going to be a bit of a tight squeeze for your taller kids. This is what I mean. Guys, can you let me out please?
So yes, I may not have the headroom that Dan has in the Disco 5, but I do have one ace up my sleeve. One of the most fundamental points of a 7-seater is the ease of getting in and out. Now watch this. In 2 simple steps, we can get into the back. Now that's a really key point, especially if you're carrying young children. Being able to get in and out with this being pneumatic, nice and easy, no heavy parts to lift.
The practicality on the boot space side of things all done, but should we go for a drive?
I think we should.
I think we should. It's warm. Join me in the Discovery 5. Now the Discovery has been around for a long time. There's a lot of history, there's a lot of heritage in the Discovery. Since the first one into production in 1986, they've been the daddies of off-road practicality and just all around good motors. And this one is no exception. So the Discovery 5 is their latest offering in that sort of range. I've got things from the updated media system, you know, things carry over from the predecessors with the heated steering wheel, but all in all, the build quality is still there. I've still got the armrests, adjustable steering racks, seat multi-way adjustments. You know, this particular one's got a full panoramic sunroof, virtual cockpit and everything. So in terms of toys and the Discovery feel, it's still very much a Discovery. And Chris, the Q7's a little bit newer, isn't it?
You join me in the Audi Q7. This vehicle as a whole would set up par against the Discovery 5. Now no, this car may not have the heritage that Dan mentioned that the Disco 5 has, and Land Rover as a brand. However, it does have one ace up its sleeve, the Quattro system. Designed in the Group B rally stages and is World Championship winning system, and you have that in this car. You feel it every time you go around a corner, every time you perhaps feel a little bit of different ground, terrain, and the slip in the wheels, everything starts to really kick in and work. The car as a whole, really nice and spacious and a really lovely place to be. You feel every part of the Audi history and you feel every part of the fantastic, well-made German brand that it is today. So, without further ado, I think we should crack on a little bit and see what both these cars have to offer.
Nice little intro there, Christopher. The Quattro system in that I am a fan of. I'm Group B rally fan, so no, nice point of discussion. But while we're on that, as I'm following you, we're on a 60 road, pushing about 45, 50. yours does seem to corner a bit flatter than this. This one does seem to rock and teeter a little bit more.
Yeah, I think that the car as a whole is, whilst it's a really big car, and it is, make no mistake, being a 7-seater and the Q7, the largest out of the Q family for Audi's you know, premium 4x4 market, it doesn't feel like a big car when you're driving. And I know that may sound cliche, but maybe it's this quattro system that is constantly keeping the car in check, but the car as a whole just feels like a really nice compact car. Whilst looking behind you, you've got 2 rows of seats, plus obviously the ones in the front, enough to fit, you know, all 7 family members, or five family members, and a load of luggage, or dogs, as it may be your preference, Dan.
Yeah, no, it's on drivability, as nice as this is, it does feel a bit wallowy if you do tend to flick it about, which you're not going to be. It's not what these are designed for. I mean, yeah, don't get me wrong, the 4-wheel drive system is designed to go off-road, but I think if you're a bit of a driver's driver, which we kind of both are, I think we'd both prefer to sit in that. I don't know, what do you think?
I think this, to be honest, this is a lovely place to be, as is the Disco 5, may I add. Obviously, the latest infotainment you've got in your car is brilliant. The latest offering from Land Rover. I think we touched on that same infotainment last time when we were test driving the P400e. Exactly the same kind of infotainment system, and they're fantastic. Both cars offer really good systems, really good technology, great space, as we've already demonstrated earlier. And, you know, whilst this may drive perhaps a little bit more focusedly, if you will, they're both still fantastic cars for both 4x4 capabilities, and also for family members and extended families being chauffeured around, should we say.
No, all very, very good points. Both got huge boot space, usable practicality space, you know, Isofix in all 3 seats, which is a big one. A lot of the 4x4s only have the outside seats fitted with Isofix, whereas both of these have 3 separate Isofix seats. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm a 2-1 setup in the back, which is 2 stuck together seats, should you call it that, and then 1 individual, but you've got 3 individual, is that right?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. You've got 3 completely individual tracked seats, so you can move each individual one at any given point at any given time. Obviously, as you saw earlier as well, the ability to move those seats very easily to get in and out and gain access to the rear of the car is really, really user friendly. With the seats being individual, you can, if you wanted to, of course, customize the back. So if you had perhaps something, you know, a longer piece of luggage, skis, for example, is the first thing that comes to my mind, you can easily through load those, and whilst moving 1 individual seat forward, you can have the other 2 still there for any other passengers.
So as nice as that Quattro is to drive on the tarmac, this isn't bad by any stretch of the term. However, what we need to remember is this is a proper off-roader. We've got lock-in center differentials. I can adjust my ride height. I've got multiple driving modes, from grass, gravel and snow to a rock crawl to even having like a full-blown sand setting. So this, if you are in the country and you do need something that's capable, this is, in my opinion, leaps ahead of the Q7. Now, Chris, can you adjust your air suspension?
No, I can't. And what this car still offers, whilst all of those things are fantastic, and I completely agree with you on the Disco 5, this car as a whole obviously is, whilst it has that Quattro system, isn't as much of an off-road machine as your car is. So whilst, yes, we have the air suspension on board, we are only able to adjust that through the actual driving modes of the car. So if I was to flick through these buttons now, I could select between off-road, efficiency, meaning eco mode. I've got a comfort setting. I've got dynamic, which for Audi is translated into your sports mode, and you've also got an individual mode. Now within that individual mode, again, similar kind of thing, you can adjust the steering, the throttle response and that kind of stuff for the car. But no, to answer your question, Dan, I can't adjust my air suspension.
So the long-winded answer that you gave me, Chris, the short of it is no, correct?
Correct, yes.
Typical salesman. In a long way about it, the answer was no. And I think that is definitely something you have to consider when you're looking at a 7-seater, is where is it going to be used? You know, do you live in the country? What sort of roads are you driving on? If you live in the city and it's never going to see a dirt track, it's not going to be a deciding factor, right? It's just going to be overlooked. So for me, that's a point up on the Discovery. It just does that little bit extra than what the Q7 does. And what you mentioned with the easy entry, easy exit, this one, for example, has got fixed side steps. So Chris, should you be 5'9" or below, you can get in and out nice and easy.
I'm 5'10".
But look, drivability to one side, we know this is the better 4x4. That's probably a bit more of a tarmac car. Huge boot space throughout. Technology wise, I've obviously got Land Rover's offerings we touched on earlier with the new media system and the new navigation system. You've got a fairly up-to-date Q7 in that 19 plate with heads-up display, virtual cockpit, but is it still running Audi's older nav system?
Yes, it is, and I'm glad you've brought that up, Dan. Thanks very much. But whilst I completely agree, it is a slightly outdated system compared to what I believe they're offering now in the new RS, some of the RS products that they've just brought out, and the new kind of LCI facelifts that you're getting across the Audi range now. This still is a capable system, and much like perhaps the Discovery 4 and the Discovery 5 your model, pre-facelift, you still had that older technology, which is just waiting for that kind of, that next phase in the manufacturer's lineup and their R&D that they've got coming through. But with this, you still have the virtual cockpit, you still have your heads-up display, and it's still a really capable system.
Totally agree. We done that video a couple of weeks back on the Range Rover Sport and the e-tron. Obviously the e-tron is the latest offering. It's not a 7-seater as of yet. I don't know if they are going to do a 7-seater on it, but that's their all-electric version with all the new technology. So I'm used to seeing that, and that's why I think that Q7, as nice as it is, it just feels, dare I say it, a little bit dated.
I can fully see your point, especially having hopped out that lovely e-tron as you did only probably, well, 14 days ago. Really nice. So yeah, I mean that leaves us in a bit of a sticky spot. You've got various points about both of these cars and both of these brands that can give you, fantastic feedback, fantastic off-road capabilities, fantastic family capabilities, which ultimately is one of probably the biggest points about these cars. So I think we can probably agree, Dan, that I've got more boot space, but you have a better load through entry point for the boot. We've both got 7 seats. We've both got a really good individual 4x4 system. And as a whole, both of these cars have fantastic individual points that you can take away and can build a really strong argument for both cars.
In terms of pricing, this one is currently on sale with Saxton's for 42 grand. Now I'll leave Chris touch on the price of his. This is a 3-year-old car. It is actually the luxury version. Now what you get within that, you get a heated steering wheel, which is lovely. You get a slightly nicer finish on the interior, panoramic sunroof. You get TVs in the headrests with a built-in DVD player, so you have got those little cushy comforts to keep the kids happy. But Chris, your car is, if I'm right, 2 years newer, it's done less miles, and is a couple of grand cheaper.
I'm glad you asked, Dan. This car as it sits today is £40,000. It's a 2019 model Q7. So as Dan's already mentioned, with this, you've got a newer car, and you've got a car that's covered only 900 miles. Now there's a couple of things to bear in mind when you're looking at a car that's of this kind of age. You've got a car that's still within manufacturer's warranty, probably about a year and a half left, which is something to really consider when you're looking at a new car, especially something for the family that you want to be a bit of peace of mind when you're investing that money into a vehicle. Dan, with your Disco 5, how does that sit with warranty and stuff like that?
Good question to ask when you're buying a used car, right? So Saxton 4x4 offer 3 months as standard on all vehicles, mechanical and electrical. Now, I always look at, yes, value for money. You're going to get a slightly newer car. You're getting less specification, in my opinion, and there's a reason this car was the cost that it was new, with the amount of technology in it. Some of the points I touched on earlier, but sticking to the warranty side of things, we can extend it. With Saxtons, we can extend it up to 5 years. So you can buy a 2, 3, 4, or even a 5-year extension, mechanical and electrical, right? So I wouldn't leave that be a deciding factor in the final decision. If you're not plate precious, you know, if you're not, oh, it has to be a 19 or it has to be a 20 plate, etc. This has had the brunt of its depreciation, and this is why I like the used car market. You know, this has lost nearly 40 grand, 30 odd grand off its, you know, list price, and that is definitely something you've got to consider. The Disco 5, the quality of this car, dare I say it, it does feel more luxurious than your Q7, mate. It does feel a nicer place to be.
And to be fair, Dan, I probably couldn't agree more. Whilst this is a really, really nice place to be, that Disco 5 just has something about it that's very, well, as we already know, Range Rover-esque. And as you've pointed out, with the ability to extend that warranty, that still gives you that sound peace of mind. And am I not mistaken, with that warranty, obviously with lots of manufacturers nowadays, you get breakdown cover included with the new car warranty. Saxtons also offer that, don't they?
Yeah, of course. So we use RAC Platinum. That is, it's roadside assistance, it's mechanical, electrical cover up to the value of the car, but you also get little things like breakdown and recovery. You get, you know, your European cover as well. What I thought was really nice, for example, that it's not just a standard warranty, because say for example you and the family broke down miles away from home, you can't get the car recovered. What is really nice is you actually get a hotel cover, so they will actually subsidize a fee towards the rate. Now I won't go into the details of that, because all the details, I mean, they're on the website and you can have a look into that. The point I'm trying to get at is, don't leave the manufacturer's warranty be a definitive factor in the final decision, because you can extend it and you can get some decent cover. So warranty to one side, we know we can cover that. You know, price point of view, yes, yours is marginally cheaper, but there is a reason. You know, you will sacrifice some of that specification, some of the luxuries. You're not going to get your TVs, heated steering wheel, etc. The quality isn't quite as there, but the Q7 is still a big contender. So why not get back to the showroom? Let's open the boats, let's summarize, and where we think you should put your money. And we are back. It's still cold. Freeze. I can't wait for the summer editions, but I can't help but notice you're sat in the mud.
I have dirty trousers, you're absolutely right. I don't have the lovely table that you have there, which you could put you could sit there with your dog and
my little spaniel sandwich, cup of coffee.
Do you drink tea? Is that what they drink from ours?
We drink coffee, other drinks are available, but that to one side, I think there's touching points on both cars. Cheers for the Aston, we're going to run through that anyway. As a driver's car, I think Chris likes to think that one's top of the tree. I'm leaning towards this one, but why did you choose that one?
I think for me, it's all about, what do I do most often with a car? Where am I most often with the car? Am I, you know, don't get me wrong, the Discovery 5 is hugely capable and is extremely luxurious, but am I constantly in a mud rut? Am I constantly driving on snow, which I'm probably shooting my foot in at the moment because we've all had snow in the UK for the last few days. However, that's a rarity. And for me, the Q7 as a whole is just a really easy, user-friendly daily, a car that doesn't feel big, even though it is, and has that safetiness of the Quattro system for the whole family. And, you know, as we've said, you can literally get a 5'10" male in it.
Height jokes to one side, 5'8". I actually disagree. So as much as I love the Quattro system in that, I do think it drives really, really nice. Sorry about that. I prefer the Discovery 5. I know we're not in mud ruts, no, we're not here and there, but for me, it's if I'm going up to Highlands Park or I'm going to a country park, I've got the boot, I can sit, I can change boots. I find this so much, I find the practicality so much more, I find it more usable than that one. I like toys. I like the heated steering wheel. I like the heated seats, pan roof, TVs to keep the kids quiet should I have kids, but we're down the middle end.
I think so.
But look, it's not our decision. We do have all of these in stock, multiple colours, different model variants. So if you do head over to Saxton 4x4, have a look. And Chris, do you want to sign us out? Yeah,
I think if there's anything you need, you can always give us a call. But apart from that, if you like this video, like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you soon.
So one thing we didn't mention, or I didn't want to mention, is put it in the middle! Come on!